Okay, I'm going to attempt to do a real quick and short video on how to change a harp string on a pedal harp. This is a small harp string that I'm going to be doing here in the second octave. The way you find your octaves, again, if you haven't remembered, octaves that are measured between E and F in each octave. So E down to that F. That's the highest E I've got. That is first octave. Second octave is the next group from E to F. And so on until you go down. E to F is third octave, so on down the harp. This particular string is in the second octave. So we've got first octave, second octave. And here is my string in the second octave. This string didn't break. I just wanted to rewind it. But I'm going to show you what the finished product looks like so you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like. The string knot is basically you're just tying two knots. And that's what your string knot looks like after you get your two knots. You put your string end in between those two knots, so there's no way it's going to be to get out. You tighten that as much as you can, and then when you push, actually what you'll be doing is you'll be putting the string end through the soundboard into the string hole first, and then you'll tie your knot, which is this, and then you'll pull the string all the way up. And as you're pulling it up, as you're pulling it up, hang on a second, let me see if I can get this to go the way I want it to. As you're pulling the string up through the soundboard, through the string hole, you hold on to this. You can't see it in there because it's too dark. But you hold on to the string end with the string end in it until you pull it up through the soundboard. Then you pull it tight like this. Just pull it tight. Tight, tight, tight. Then you have your string end here at the top. You pull that through. I think you can see it. Pull it through the hole in the pin, the tuning pin. Of course, I'm trying to do two things at once, which I'm not really great at. Trying to do it left-handed too, which is not my forte. So now you've got this in, you've got the string in, you're pulling it up. The next thing you have to do is make sure that this string is put on the stud right there. Make sure it's in the groove of the stud. See if I can pull that. Yeah, see where it is right now? It's not outside like this. It's not in back. It's in the groove in the front of the stud, which is what holds the string onto and keeps it in pitch. Now, as you wind it, you don't have to hold it tight like this, unless you're going to lock it, and that's a totally different story. This is just tuning. Most strings, you want to make sure that all the string is in between. Let's see, do I have that one up? Yeah, I have that one down. Make sure that your harp pedals are in the flat position too. You're doing this in the flat position. So both discs should be open like that. Shouldn't be pressed against the string. And the string is in the groove of the stud. It's in between the two discs. And this is the way it should look when you first start. Now, when you start to tune, you'll notice here these other strings have quite a few turns on them. I think the max really, depending on who you talk to, is around 3 winds. So I'm going to try and do this. Hang on a second. Without holding the string end, because I'm trying to trying to get it. Okay. So what we're doing is we're winding toward the column because the string, the string needs to go toward the column, the wind. So we're doing this wind. It's really too close. So you can see, and what happens if you're doing it correctly, well, I do it wrong sometimes too. So don't get upset. This is going behind, this string is going behind the way it's being wound. Now, I don't want it to do that because that's being locked, and we don't need to lock the string because we're not in a big hurry to have it in tune. So you want to have the string in back. See where it is now? It's in back of the first wind. Actually, I'm doing that wrong. I had it right the first time. I'm doing this all wrong. Okay, let's try it again. See, I make mistakes because I'm not thinking. Okay, so we're going to try it again. So this time we're taking the harp string, we're turning this harp string toward the column. And we want that string to go back in back of where the hole is and where the string is coming through. So it keeps on winding. And we don't want it to hit the other wind. We want just to keep on winding. Now you'll notice that the harp string is going to move a little bit. That's not going to be in tune right away. Now hopefully this string will come back into pitch. So it's now about an octave away from pitch, which is okay. Now it's in less than an octave. Less than an octave is up to a C. Up to almost a D. So I'm going to turn it a little bit more. You don't have to do it real fast. You can do it fast. It's just that it might, like this string's an older string. I'm just going to try and save the string. So it's up to E. It looks D, okay? And at this point, it's less than an octave from being in pitch. So I kind of go pull the string a little bit just to make it stretch a little bit more while we're tuning so it can get in tune quicker. Let's see where it's at now. Okay, so it sounds like it's F flat, and then let's see if it goes up to G. Almost. Okay, so you can see, let me see how many winds we have on there. We have about 3 winds, it looks like. And that's about what you want. And then after the string stays in tune for a while, like a day or so, I would cut that string end off because you don't need it anymore. And you won't have enough string left even if it broke at the top to use the string again, which is possible if you've got a lot of winds on it. But this is just going to have 3 winds on it, maybe 4 if it... And I'm going to tune it above that a little bit because that way it'll pull, it'll go down in pitch eventually. But that's basically how you do it. And that's pretty, I mean, it's pretty decently easy to do. It's just that you have to get used to it. So if you aren't afraid of doing stuff like this, it's just harp stuff. So just keep your eyes on it and, you know, figure out what has to be done. You're a sensible person. If you're playing the harp, you already know that a lot of stuff anyways. So this is just one part of playing the harp.